Good evening, my dear students. Let me discuss the sample paper released by our NCERT board, that is for class 12 chemistry for 2024-25 batch. So the maximum marks is 70, the duration is 3 hours, and you have to carefully read all the instructions are given here. You may know there are 33 questions, and section A consists of 16 multiple choice questions. So you've got 16 into 1, 16 marks. Then section B, 5 short answer questions. So 5 into 2, that is 10 marks. And then you have section C, that is 7 short answer questions. Then each carrying 3 marks. So this is 3 marks question, and this is 4 marks question. You have to attend the case based question, that is a 4 marks question. So this is 4 marks question. And you have got a 3 long answer question, that is a 5 marks question. So 3 into 5, 15. So you must always target the 5 marks question as far as chemistry is concerned, so that you got 15 marks here. So you can definitely score 15 out of 15 provided you know thoroughly. But in the case of chemistry, you do not get the complete marks, that is the full marks for 5 marks question particularly. Why? Because you have mistaken that whatever you have written will give you 5 out of 5. That is wrong. See, that is, there are some standard answers for each question, and you are expected to give that question correctly, completely. That is more important. You understand? So, in that case, what you are supposed to do, you have to analyze thoroughly, and they are given some answers here. First of all, let me attack the section E. So, section E is, so here we have how many questions? Three questions. So each carrying 5 marks. This is either or choice, is it not? So it starts from 31st, 31, and or this question. Then 32, then you have to select either this or that. And 33. So 33rd question. Excuse me. Okay, so either or, and you please note down there are some questions which are meant for visually challenged learners. Okay, right. Now let us go through one by one, and let me take up at least the first, I mean the first 5 marks question, that is 31st question. Okay, you just go through that. Excuse me. A purple color compound A, better underline a purple color compound A. Yes, which is a strong oxidizing agent. So you have got a clue. A is purple. Okay. And what's its color? Purple. Then it is a strong oxidizing agent. Okay. It is a strong oxidizing agent. Used for bleaching wool, cotton. So this is used for bleaching wool, cotton, silk. So it seems to be the application of that particular oxidizing agent, is it not? Okay, so this acts as a bleaching agent, so you can note down. So the best thing is you have to indicate the whatever the terms they are given. Okay, so these are all the given. Okay, and then other text fibers was added to each of 3 test tubes. So you got 3 test tubes, along with that sulfuric acid is there. So it was followed by strong heating. Okay, so you have got, that is 1, 2, 3. Okay, you have got 3 test tubes, right? Now, in which of the above test tube, in which of the above test tubes A, B, C, that is A, B, C, violet vapors will be formed? That is the first question, and for which you got 1 mark. And then the bubbles of gas evolved. So they talk about the violet color, so we had to mention the name. And the bubble of gas evolved will extinguish. Extinguish means what? மறைஞ்சு போயிடுறது அது. இப்போ ஒரு, that is when you bring a matchstick, burning matchstick, what will happen? It will go off. It goes off. So it goes off means the bubble of a gas evolved. So the gas evolved has got that extinguishing character. It acts as a fire extinguisher. Are you able to follow? So you got another clue. So here you got color, and another clue is, that is a bubble of gas that extinguishes burning matchstick. Okay. Write an equation for each of the observations. So we have to write down the equation for these observations. Okay. So this is another 1 mark question. Okay. Then a metal ion Mn plus are the first transitions. This is a second question. So let us finish up the first one. Okay. So let us take up the answer guidelines here. What is that? See, the test tube violet vapors will be formed. Okay. Violet vapor will be formed. So when will the violet vapor form? In which case the violet vapor will form? When it is releasing iodine. Okay. And what is the compound here? That is compound A, this one, a purple color. A compound is purple color. Are you able to follow? And it is a strong, what is that? Oxidizing agent that acts as a bleaching agent also. That A, that compound A. Okay. So in this case here, that is, you got oxalic acid, you got lead sulfide, you got potassium iodide. So what is the question? They are given some idea. Okay. And based on that, you have to answer these questions. Okay. So it means violet colors will be formed. What do you mean by that? Now let us look at the answer. That is, iodine gives the violet color. Okay. So iodine that gives the violet color. Note down this violet color. And then if it is a that is a strong, I mean oxidizing agent. What do you mean by oxidizing agent? Let us discuss about the oxidation and the reduction here itself. Okay. What do you mean by oxidation and what do you mean by reduction? Let us indicate the oxidation by oxygen, reduction by hydrogen. Okay. Now addition of oxygen, oxidation, removal of oxygen is reduction. Got it? So in terms of hydrogen, removal of hydrogen is oxidation, addition of hydrogen is reduction. Right? Now it is said that it is an oxidizing agent. What do you mean by that? So can you find any oxygen related thing here? Yes, there is. But if it is given in terms of electron, then it is more easy also. It is easier for us. Okay. So how we can interpret the oxidation and reduction in terms of electron? That is de-electronation oxidation. Removal of electron is oxidation. Addition of electron is reduction. Okay. And in terms of oxidation number, increase of oxidation number is oxidation. Decrease of oxidation number is reduction. Do you understand this? Okay. And in terms of electrodic reaction, that is, oxidation always occurs at anode. So it is anodic reaction. Then automatically you can declare that cathodic reaction is reduction reaction. So this is the reaction takes place at cathode. So cathodic. So this is the way you have to exactly define the oxidation and the reduction. Do you understand? Now, see, oxidizing agent is what? that supplies oxygen, but it undergoes reduction. Okay, so you have to be thorough with this also. Take down oxidizing agent that actually supplies oxygen. So when it supplies oxygen means what? It gives out oxygen. Do you understand? So when it gives out oxygen, what happened to this oxidizing agent? Actually, this undergoes reduction. So you must remember this. Therefore, an oxidizing agent undergoes reduction. You got this point? Oxidation agent undergoes reduction. Similarly, reducing agent undergoes oxidation. Okay, you got this point? Right. Now, let us proceed further. Now, what is the question asked here? A purple color compound A, okay, which is a strong oxidizing agent, right? Used for bleaching of wool, cotton, silk, and other textile fibers, was added to each of the three test tubes along with the sulfuric acid. So, this oxidation takes place what in presence of sulfuric acid. So, sulfuric acid means usually you need an oxidizing agent that is a very good oxidizing agent, the best oxidizing agent. It is also called a purple color compound. So, definitely it can be potassium permanganate. Got it? Potassium permanganate is purple, is it not? So, it can be a purple. So, we may assume that this is K1O4, potassium permanganate. Okay, right. So, and this is used for bleaching all these things, etc. And this is acidified K1O4. Then immediately you can work out, okay, this is the one. And what could be the, that is violet vapor removed. So if it is a violet vapor removed means probably this K1O4 would have reacted with potassium iodide. Are you able to follow? Potassium iodide. So that it liberates the iodine. Now we can target. For example, this is Ki. You may ask, sir, can't we react this KMNO4 with the PBS and oxalic acid? Yes, but the reaction is different. You will not get these observations. For example, when KMNO4 reacts with oxalic acid, what will happen? Oxalic acid is a purple in color. When it is reacting with oxalic acid, what happens? You would have done this volumetric titration. Disappearance, because you are put in the in fact appearance, because you are taken in the oxalic acid, acidified oxalic acid in the what? Conical flask. So when you drain potassium permanganate from the burette, okay, initially there is no color appearing, and slowly at end point, all of a sudden pale pink color appears. So they are not talked about any appearance of pale pink color, etc. So definitely it cannot be this one, because the observations are different. Similarly, in the case of lead, you will be having some black color, etc. But in the case of Ki, definitely it releases iodine. Is it not? So Ki means what? Probably that is a potassium iodide, means it can be simply represented as K plus I minus. So this is nothing but I minus. Are you able to follow? Okay. So you have this I minus which is present here. And you have got already sulfuric acid. So you can drop this KMNO4 along with sulfuric acid. So when you take this in test tube C, and that will react with the potassium iodide. So this iodide that undergoes what? That undergoes oxidate. Iodine undergoes oxidation, because this is an oxidation. Actually, KMNO4 undergoes reduction, as I already told you. So now the clue is very, very clear. It is a strong oxidizing agent used for bleaching. So KMNO4 is used here. And this KMNO4 can be used for goggling also. When you've got some problem, mouth problem, to kill the bacteria, you can dilute the potassium permanganate and use it for goggling also, because it kills bacteria. Do you understand? So similarly, it will bleach. So that is why we make use of this, and these are all the clues we can be utilized here. So this may be potassium permanganate, and we have got sulfuric acid. So KMnO4 plus sulfuric acid, and they act as acidified KMnO4 act as what? Oxidizing agent. Okay, and which is oxidized here? Iodide is oxidized. Iodide is oxidized means what? For example, how we can write iodide? Now let me write iodide. This is iodide. Iodide, potassium iodide means Ki. That can be simply represented in the ionic form as iodide. Okay. So iodide means in this case, just a minute. Are you able to see on the screen? Okay. Right. So iodide. This iodide becomes what? Iodine. So iodine has got, as iodine molecule, it has got zero oxidation state, whereas this is -1. Do you understand? So -1 becomes a 0. You got this point? So -1 becomes a 0 means whether it is addition of electron or loss of electron. No. Addition of electron, -1, electron nale -1. So this is the loss of electron, not addition of electron. Do you understand this? So I2 is the 0. This is -1. When I put minus means -1. So one electron is lost. Do you understand? So this is the loss of electron. So this is the loss of electron. Loss of electron, we used to say loss of electron is oxidation. Leo. Leo Gar. Got it? Leo means loss of electron. It's a simple way to memorize all these things. So loss of electron is oxidation. Got it? Gar means there is a gain of electron. Gain of electron is reduction. Are you able to follow? So loss of electron is oxidation, gain of electron is a reduction. Now this is the loss of electron because one electron is lost and thereby it becomes a neutral, means 0. So I2. And I2 has a color what you are able to get the violet color, and that is why they are given here very clearly, that is violet vapor is formed. So violet vapor is formed means it is due to iodine vapor. Got it? So it means potassium iodide is oxidized by the acidified KMnO4. So you have to establish the reaction. Do you understand this? You have to establish the reaction. Okay, right. Now let us establish the reaction. So this is KMnO4. We can represent by ionic form also. So KMnO4 minus, and then plus H plus, because it is acidified, is it not? So you can put H plus, and then it is iodide. Okay, so it should be I minus. Okay, so that gives iodine I2, and then this MnO4, it has supplied oxygen, so it becomes what? Mn2 plus. Are you able to follow? What about this? When you work out KMnO4, this is plus how much? What is oxidation state of manganese in manganate? Potassium permanganate. You can, no, wrong. KMnO4, you have to work out KMnO4, which is nothing but MnO4 minus here. That is, this is written as K plus and manganate, permanganate. This is called permanganate. So permanganate, let us work out the net oxidation state. Is it not? Is -1. So the net oxidation state is -1. You can put X. And what about oxygen? That is -2. So X plus 4 oxygen into -2. Is it not? So -8 is equal to -1. So X is equal to -1 plus 8. So +7. Do you understand? So what is oxidation state of manganese? +7. So you have to indicate this as +7. Okay. So this +7 becomes what? +2. So this is the decrease in oxidation number. It means reduction. I hope now you should be able to understand why the potassium permanganate is undergoing reduction, because it's an oxidizing agent. So this undergoes reduction. The reduction symbol can be represented by H. By how many electrons? By adding 5 electrons. Do you understand? Mn plus becomes Mn2 plus, means you have added 5 electrons. So addition of electron is reduction. Got this point? Is it clear? Right. Then what about this iodide? Iodide becomes what? Iodine. By how many electrons? Loss of one electron here. Okay, there is a loss of one electron. So the since it is losing one electron is lost, it is an oxidation. Audible follow? And together it is called what? Redox reaction. So oxidation and reduction, they take place simultaneously. So when you work out, see, actually you can adopt the half ion method also, that is half cell method or ion electron method for balancing. Okay, so let me adopt this technique, that is ion electron method. Okay, so in this case, what you're supposed to do, oxidation should be written as a half cell reaction here. Another half is a reduction. So let me take the reduction here, MnO4. Okay, the pencil எழுதுறது தெரியுதா? Yes, sir. Right. So MnO4, நம்ம இன்னொரு பென்சில் வச்சிருப்போம் எங்கடா? தெரியல, இதில் எழுதிட்டேன். So MnO4, what is that? Minus, right? MnO4 minus. This becomes what? Mn2 plus. Got it? Okay. From this reaction, you can have some guideline. MnO4, because we are supposed to solve, balance it. So MnO4, what is that? MnO4 minus. Then Mn2 plus, Mn2 plus. And what about this? Iodide. So you can take iodide, I minus becomes what? I2. So I2. So the first rule is you split this into two half reactions. Okay, one is oxidation, another is reduction. This will be useful for your electrodic reactions also in electrochemistry. Okay, right. Now the first thing is you check the main cation here. There is only one cation, manganese. Here also one manganese. Okay, no issues. But the problem here is, next is you have to attack the oxygen. How many oxygen atoms are there? 4 oxygen, right? So what you are supposed to do, you have to add 4, not oxygen, 4 water molecules. Okay, so oxygen should be balanced by adding water molecules. Please note down this. So you have to balance oxygen only by adding water molecule. So how many water molecule we can add? 4 water molecules. So let me rewrite this, MnO4. Okay, and then here Mn plus 2. Okay, Mn plus 2 plus 4H2O. So remember, oxygen should be compensated or balanced by, that is, water molecule only. Excuse me. On the oxygen deficient side. Which is the oxygen deficient side? Right hand side here. Okay, right. But unfortunately, what happens here? You are increasing hydrogen. So hydrogen should be balanced by adding H plus. So how many hydrogen is required here? 4 into 2, 8. So you have to add 8H plus on the hydrogen deficient side. So left is the hydrogen deficient side. So you can write once again MnO4 minus and then plus 8H plus. That gives now manganese Mn plus 2 and then 4H2O. Okay, now you can check it up. See, one manganese, 4 oxygen, 8H plus 8H. Now, what is left here unbalanced? Not balanced, not yet balanced. Charges are to be balanced. So you have to, balance the charges. Here 8 plus and 1 minus. So 7 plus. Got it? What about here? You got only 2 plus. Okay. So here 7 plus, here 2 plus. So how many the charges should be nullified or neutralized or balanced by adding electrons on the electron deficient side. So which is the electron deficient side here? Tell me. Here is 7 plus, this is 2 plus. Which is electron deficient, or right or left? Left. Because 7 plus means that is positive. Okay, 7 plus, here 2 plus. So I want to bring down this 7 plus to 2 plus. How many electrons can be added? Electron is negative. Very good. So you can add 5. So next step, once again you write manganese, manganate, permanganate, 8H plus. Then let us add how many electrons? 5 electrons. Got it? And then here manganese, Mn2 plus, and then 4H2O. Now you check all are balanced, is it not? You can check everything. Manganese, manganese. 4 oxygen, 4 oxygen. 8H, 8H. And what about the charge? Here 1 minus, here 7 plus, and here 7 plus minus 5 means 2 plus. So on both sides it is 2. 2 plus. Got it? So the charge is also perfectly balanced. Okay, now let us go ahead with the other side. Iodine. So you got only one iodine, whereas here two iodine atoms. So you can multiply this by 2. Is it not? So 2 iodine, 2I minus becomes I2. It is very simple. Okay. And then what we are supposed to do? You had to balance the charge. So here minus 2 minus means minus 2. And on which side I have to add the electron? Which is the electron deficient side? Left or right? Right. You got already 2 electron. On the other side, you have to balance it by adding 2 electron. So that on both sides it will be minus 2. See, 2 minus 2 then this is minus 2, this is 0, correct? On which side you should add electron? Because adding electron is minus. So you have to add 2 electrons on the right side only. Do you understand this? Right. So 2I minus gives I2 plus 2E. Now I have balanced the other side also. Okay. Right. Now we have to combine these two equations. Okay. Ensure all the electrons should be cancelled. So which is the best way? This is electron must be cancelled. Here you got 5 electron. Here you got 2 electron. So they are on the opposite side. So what we can do, we can take the LCM, 5 into 2, 10. So this can be multiplied by 2, is it not? So that it becomes 10. Okay. And this can be multiplied by 5, right? So we can multiply this. So this becomes 2 MnO4 minus plus 16 H plus, and then plus 10 electron is equal to here 2 manganese 2 plus and 8 H2O. Got it? And what about this one? That is 5 into 2, 10 iodide. Got it? And then 5 into 1, 5I2. And then 10 electron. Right? Now we can add these two. Okay? So 10I minus. And here 5I2. Got it? And then here 10 electron again. Okay? Now let us strike out So this is 10E, 10E cancel. The rest can be added. Okay. So 2 MnO4 minus plus 16 H plus plus 10 I minus gives, what about this? 2 manganese 2 plus 8 H2O plus 5 I2. This is the final balanced redox reaction. Okay. Got it? Now let us look at the answer. They are given in a single line. What will you think? You may think that we have to by heart. I applied mathematics as a tool and I have done this sum. So chemistry is a logical one. So you should know the logic and what is the numerical aptitude behind it. All these things should be studied. And you cannot do all these things in your examination. But by just looking at this, you should be able to arrive at the final equation also. You can do it very quickly. Since I am teaching you, it takes more time for me. Do you understand? You may wonder, sir, this after all, how much it takes? I mean, what is the mark allotted? Only 1 mark. Should we struggle for this 1 mark? Do you understand? This is the question you may raise. But if you do not know this technique, you cannot answer this question. Horrible follow? So, in this case, now they are given, that is, see that 10 iodide, 10 iodide, and then MnO4. So that is also wrong. It should be 2 MnO4, and then 2 Mn2, 2 Mn2. So this is not properly balanced. Look at this. Whereas this is perfectly balanced, and then 16H plus, 16H plus. Okay. So everything is balanced as we had done. Clear? So in test tube, so what is the question asked here? Look at the question. Your violet vapors will be formed. It is pretty clear. In which other? Okay. The bubbles of, in second one, the bubbles of gas evolved will extinguish a burning matchstick. It means it releases carbon dioxide. That is the clue. When it extinguishes means it should release carbon dioxide. Is it not? So that is the clue. And what is the clue here? That is, it should be iodine. So how can I get iodine, and which contains iodine? Only the test tube C. Okay, so what is the question asked? In which of the above test tube A, B, C, violet vapors will be formed? So what you are supposed to answer? Test tube C.
Sir, but oxalic acid is present in trails.
No, man. We are talking about violet. இப்போ இது எல்லாமே டிஸ்கஸ் பண்ணது அதுதானே. தென் இங்க என்ன இருக்கு? பொட்டாசியம் அயோடைடு. பொட்டாசியம் அயோடைடு. எங்க அயோடின் இருக்கு அங்க தானே வரும். அப்ப வாட் இஸ் த கரெக்ட் ஆன்சர்? சி இஸ் த கரெக்ட் ஆன்சர். டெஸ்ட் டியூப் சி. பாருங்க என்ன கொடுத்துருக்கான், பாருங்க என்ன கொடுத்துருக்கான். ஆன்சர் என்ன கொடுத்துருக்கான்? டெஸ்ட் டியூப் சி. புரியுதா? ஓகே சார், டெஸ்ட் டியூப் சி. இட் இஸ் பிரெட்டி கிளியர். அடுத்தது இப்போ நல்லா புரிஞ்சுக்க. நான் இதை வந்து டீடைல் பண்ணது எதுக்குன்னா, யூ ஷுட் அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட் த கான்செப்ட் தரவ்லி. இதை நீ நல்லா படிச்சிருந்தாதான் தென் யூ கேன் சே இட் இஸ் சி. கேன் யூ மெமரைஸ் அண்ட் புட் சி? இப்போ புரியுதா எங்க இருக்குன்ட்டு? இந்த கான்செப்ட்ல நீ ஸ்ட்ரென்த்தா இருக்கியா அப்படின்றது தான் இது. ஸோ அதனால தான் அதில் கான்செப்ட்ல நம்ம பிடிக்கணும். நவ் செகண்ட் கொஸ்டின் என்ன கொடுத்துருக்கான்? த பபிள்ஸ் ஆஃப் கேஸ் எவால்வ்டு வில் எக்ஸ்டிங்விஷ் என்னது? எ பர்னிங் மேஸ்டிக். அப்போ கார்பன் டை ஆக்சைடு ஷுட் பி ரிலீஸ்டு. ஸோ இது ஏற்கனவே சி டிக்ளேர் பண்ணிட்டோம். இதில் ஏதாவது கார்பன் டை ஆக்சைடு வரதுக்கு சான்ஸ் இருக்கா? நோ. அப்போ ஆக்சாலிக் ஆசிட் தான் வரும். ஸோ அப்போ வாட் இஸ் த நெக்ஸ்ட் ஆன்சர்? ஏ. டெஸ்ட் டியூப் ஏ. அதுதான் கொடுத்துருக்கான், டெஸ்ட் டியூப் ஏ. புரியுதா? இப்போ வெறுமனா டெஸ்ட் டியூப் ஏ, டெஸ்ட் டியூப் சி, டெஸ்ட் டியூப் ஏன்னு சொல்லிட்டு போகிறது நல்லது, ஒன்றும் பிரச்சனை இல்லை. But the problem here is you have to establish the reaction. Next, என்ன கேட்டிருக்கான் அதுதான் முக்கியம். Write an equation for each of the above observation. அப்போ நீ நல்ல ஞாபகம் வச்சுக்க, கெமிஸ்ட்ரியை எப்படி படிக்கணும். மெமரி பண்ணுறவங்க எல்லாம் என்ன பண்ணுவாங்க, இந்த மாதிரி வந்த சி அண்ட் யூ கேன் ரைட் த என்டையர் ஈக்குவேஷன் பை ஹார்ட் பண்ணி அப்படியே எழுதுவோம். பட் கெமிஸ்ட்ரியை கரைச்சி குடிச்சு ஓரளவு கான்செப்டுவலாக ஸ்ட்ராங்காக இருந்துன்னா என்னாட்ட நீ ஒர்க் அவுட் பண்ண ஆரம்பிச்சிடுவேன், அவ்வளோதான். ஆனால் இட் டேக்ஸ் மோர் டைம். ஆனால் தடங்களே இல்லாமல் ப்ராக்டிஸில் வந்துச்சுனாக்கா குயிக்காக முடிச்சிடலாம். இப்போ புரியுதா? யூ கேன் பி கான்ஃபிடென்ட் அபவுட் யுவர் ஆன்சர். இப்போ இங்கே கூட நான் சொல்லிட்டேன், இந்த ஆன்சர் கவர்மெண்ட்டில் கொடுத்த ஆன்சரே தப்புன்னு டிக்ளேர் பண்ணியாச்சு. இங்கே பார் என்ன கொடுத்துருக்கான், 10 ஐயா எம்என்ஓ ஃபோன் கொடுத்தாங்க, 2ன்றது மிஸ் பண்ணிட்டாங்க. ஸோ தட் இப்போ நீ இதே ஆன்சர் ரீப்ரொடியூஸ் பண்ணேன்னு வச்சுக்கேன், தப்புன்னு வரும். அரை மார்க் தான் கொடுப்போம். Do you understand this? So it cannot be, because this is 2mn 2 plus. How can it be MnO4? அதுவே பார்க்கணும்ல. ஸோ அப்போ it should be 2. அதுதான் நம்ம மேத்தமேட்டிக்கலாக போகிறப்போ எவ்வளோ பர்ஃபெக்டாக லேண்ட் ஆகிருக்கும் பாரு. 2mnO4 2mnO4 16 plus 16 plus. இதெல்லாம் கெஸ் ஒர்க்கில் நீ பண்ண முடியும்னு நினைக்கிற? சத்தியமாக முடியாது. யூ cannot do it. அதுக்கு தான் எக்ஸாஸ்டிவாக படிக்கணுன்றது. இப்போ புரியுதா? ஸோ இதே மாதிரி நம்ம டெஸ்ட் டியூப் ஏ, இது வந்து நம்ம ஃபெமிலியரான ரியாக்ஷன் ஒன்று. ஏன்னா ஆக்சாலிக் ஆசிட்ல வந்து கார்பன் டை ஆக்சைடு சூப்பராக ரிலீஸ் ஆகும். இட் வில் ரிலீஸ் கார்பன் டை ஆக்சைடு. அந்த ரியாக்ஷன்ஸ் என்ன, அதுக்கு இப்போ குயிக்காக போடலாம். அதை இப்போ நான் இதில் வந்து என்ன பண்ணியிருக்கேன்னாக்கா, இந்த ஸ்பிளிட்டிங் மெத்தட், அயான் எலக்ட்ரான் மெத்தடில் நான் அதை ட்ரை பண்ணி உனக்கு கொடுத்துருக்கேன், எஸ்டாப்ளிஷ் பண்ணியிருக்கேன் ரியாக்ஷன். இப்போ இதுவே நாம் எப்படி போகிறோம் அப்படின்னா, தட் இஸ் இப்போ ரெண்டாவது ஈக்குவேஷன், அதாவது பபிள்ஸ் கேஸ் எவால்வ்டு தட் எக்ஸ்டிங்விஷஸ் burning mastic in carbon dioxide should be removed. அப்போ இந்த இடத்துல A is the correct answer. So அப்போ it should be test tube A. அதோட நிப்பாட்டினா பத்தாது, we have to establish the reaction. Let us establish the reaction. இப்போ you got அதே KMnO4 நோட் பண்ணிக்கோ, KMnO4 plus H2C2O4, okay, plus H2SO4 because acidified. Yeah, so acidified in the H2SO4, it gives K2SO4, MnSO4, and then the chance. For example, K வந்து SO4 join ஆகி K2SO4, manganese வந்து SO4 join ஆகி MnSO4. okay, அதுக்கப்புறம் this one oxalic acid, அதுதான் கார்பன் டை ஆக்சைடு ரிலீஸ் ஆகிடுது, plus water. Okay, water, H2O. okay, so அப்போ KMnO4, H2C2O4, H2SO4, so K2SO4, MnSO4, and carbon dioxide is releasing here, plus H2O, so water. okay, now you just look at it. இப்போ இந்த இடத்துல இதை வந்து என்ன பண்ணலாம்னா, ஆக்சிடேஷன் நம்பர் டெக்னிக்ல we can solve this. ஏன்னா we have to balance it. எப்படி போடலாம்? Now oxidation state of manganese +7 I already worked out, and see sulfate is not going to be changed here. அதனால what you are supposed to do, identify the element that undergoes change in oxidation number. Do you understand? So manganese here it is +7, and what about sulfate? -2, so it should be +2. okay, so Mn +7 becomes what? +2 here, Mn +2. So what is this? This is oxidation or reduction? +7 becomes a +2 means reduction, is it not? So you can put plus here. And what about oxalic acid? You can work out the oxalic acid roughly. H2C2O4 is the oxalic acid. Yeah. Now this is -2, this is +1. Put X for this. Apo 2 plus 2x minus 8 is equal to 0. The net oxidation state is 0, right? So 2x minus 6 is equal to 0. X should be +3. So the oxidation state is, what is that? +3 for what? For carbon. Okay. And what about this carbon dioxide? For oxygen -2. And there are 4. -4 means +4. So +4. Okay. Now See, this plus 3 carbon becomes what? Plus 4. Got it? Plus 3 becomes plus 4. And by how many electrons? Plus 3 becomes a plus 4 means whether electron is added or electron is released.
Released.
Huh?
Released.
Electron is released means oxidation. Is it not de-electronation? So there is a drop of electron. How many electron? One electron. But there are two carbons, so you can put two electrons. Okay. And what about this? Plus 7 becomes a plus 2. By how many electron? How many electrons are added? 5 electrons are added. After all, you have got only one manganese. Do you understand this? Now, what you are supposed to do? Crisscross. Okay, interchange the oxidation number as the coefficient of the respective molecules. So it becomes what? That is 2K-4, 2K-4. I brought this 2 for K-4 plus, and what about this? 5. So you can put 5 H2C2O4. Is it not? 5 H2C2O4 plus H2SO4, right? And then becomes here K2SO4. You can simply write K2SO4, MnSO4, okay, and then CO2, then H2O, okay, H2O. Now what you are supposed to do? You got the 2 KMnO4. Once you have put means you should not change it. So fix, don't change it. Now how many K? 2K. So 2K. So you can follow that is ERP method, which is simply called element reactant product technique. Element reactant product. What are the elements here? So always focus on give priority to cation followed by anion. And among the anions or cations, which are widely spread, that should be given least priority. Okay. So in this case, you have E element. So let me take up manganese. And here also, how many manganese is there? And carbon is there. And potassium is there. And then sulfur is there. And then oxygen. Anything left over?
No.
Right. Now, on left side, that is the reactant side, how many manganese? Two manganese. Okay. And on the right side, you got only one. So you can put two, right? Fix it. So put two. So you have multiplied this by two, is it not? So there should be two sulfur here. Okay. You understand?
Yes.
Two sulfur. And then here another sulfur. Okay. Leave it as it. And what about so sulfur? So you have to multiply this sulfur. First, let us count this. Carbon. How many carbon? First two carbon you can put. And what about this side carbon? Only one carbon. Potassium here it is already two, so you can put two. And here this is two. Okay. And what about sulfur here? There is only one sulfur here. But in this case, there are sulfur, but they are present in two different molecules. So it should be written separately. So there is one sulfur from K2SO4 plus another sulfur from manganese sulfate. Okay, that is also one sulfur. Now we have multiplied this by 2. Do you understand? And what about oxygen? Oxygen is 4 here, but there are 2 oxygen, so multiplied by 2. And here 5 into 4, 20, is it not? So you can write as 5 into 4. Okay, you have to write like this only. And what about here? Only 4. Okay, on the right side, you got sulfur. How much? 4 sulfur. Okay, in K2SO4 plus, and then here 2 into 4. Is it not? 8 in manganese sulfate. And in carbon dioxide, you got only one molecule, but 2 oxygen. Plus water, you got only one. Okay. Now, see, you know very well the oxygen is more disturbing. It is widely distributed. And that is why you need not worry about it. Give the least priority. You should not take up any troublesome one at the first. Okay. So let us take the easier one. So manganese. Finished, huh? Okay. Right. And what about carbon? Carbon here, 5 twos are 10, right? Because 5 into 2. So put 5 into 2. Okay. 10 carbon. Here, only 1. So shall I put 10? Done. So balanced, huh? Immediately I had to put 10. But what happened here? By adding 10, you have got 10 carbon, but you have multiplied by oxygen also. So 10 into 2, 20. So search for oxygen. Oxygen. Where is it? 2 here. This is a carbon dioxide oxygen where you can put 10. Okay. So it becomes automatically 20. Done. Right. Finished. Then, and this is balanced. And what about potassium? There are 2 potassium here. Here also 2 potassium. Finished. And what about sulfur? Sulfur is only 1 sulfur in this case. Remember. Okay. But here you have 2 sulfur and there is 1 more sulfur. We are left hydrogen. That is very important. Okay. So before oxygen, you have to add hydrogen. So let me write hydrogen here. Okay. So we have to count the hydrogen. How many hydrogens are there here? 5 twos are 10. So you have to account for that one also. So let me account here for, but it should be written before oxygen. Okay. So how many hydrogen? 5 into 2, correct? 10. And what about this? 2. Is it not? So 10 plus 2, 12 hydrogen, right? Okay. Then 5 twos are 10 plus 2 means 12. So I can put how many hydrogen here? See, that is your God already. See, 5 twos are 10, right? And what about this? Only 2. And here on this side, you have only 2. So you can put 2. Nowhere you have got hydrogen. Okay. So let it be like this. Now we have to work out this. And sulfur, let us work out. How many sulfur? 2 sulfur. Here also 1 sulfur. So totally 3 sulfur. Is it not? So you can multiply this by 3, right? So you have to multiply this 3. When you multiply by this 3, how many? 3 into 2. So you had to put again 3, right? So 6. So 6 plus 10, how much? 16. And in that case, I must put 8 so that it will become. Okay, so 8 I can put here. And since it is 8, I have to multiply this also, oxygen, by 8. It is over. Okay. And what about this 2 into 4? I put already 2 into 4. And what about this 5 into 4? So 5 into 4, 3 into 4. So you have to multiply by 3 into 4. Okay. Finished. On this side, there are 4 oxygen. Okay. And there are 2 into 4, 8. And then how much? 2 into 10, 20. Okay. And here 8 oxygen. Finished. Now I have finished sulfur. I have finished hydrogen. Now you just count the oxygen, automatically they are balanced. How? For example, 4 into 2, 8 oxygen. Huh? How much here? 20. How much here? 12. Totally 40 oxygen. Got it? What about here? 4 and then plus 8 and then 20 plus 8. So this is also 40. So all are balanced perfectly. Now you imagine, can you do any guesswork for balancing this? It is very difficult. And that is why you have to adopt the oxidation number method. First oxidation number method followed by ERP. Is it clear? So I have taught you 2 methods here. Okay. Now we have established the equation. Let us look at the answer also. So this is the answer. C2O42. They have given this in ionic form. Okay. So this is the balanced equation. C2O4 5 times. Okay. So it should be 5. So this is left unbalanced once again. This is wrong. It should be 5. So you can add 5. So 5 C2O4. Okay. And then 2MnO4. So 2MnO4 is correct. And then 16H plus. 16H plus means How much we have put? 5 twos are 10, and here 8 twos are 16. Is it not? So I left over this one. 5 twos are 10 and 3 twos are 6, and totally 6 H plus. This is represented as H plus. Okay, this is represented because 5 twos are 10 hydrogen plus 3 twos are 6. So 16 H plus. And that's why they have put 16 H plus. This is given in ionic form. And what about K2? K, 2K, 2K, finished. Sulfur, so everything is perfectly balanced and it releases 10 moles of carbon dioxide. And because of this evolution of carbon dioxide, what happens? It extinguishes the fire, carbon dioxide. Okay, so this is the completed, that is balanced chemical reaction. Okay, so it is finally what you are expected to write down the answer for this. These are all the technique. I have given the clear procedure, so that's why it takes so much time. Okay, but by practicing this you should be able to arrive at the final equation. Okay, right. So how to represent the answer here? Now you can look at the answer, how they are done. The first answer is, this is test tube C, but don't write like this. Okay. So what you are supposed to do, you have got the question here. I'll tell you how to write down the answer very neatly, not like this. These are all clue only. This is hint, but the presentation should be very neat. So in this case, 31, question number 31. So draw a neat margin. Question number 31A. Okay. So in which of the above test tube violet color vapor will be formed? You have to write down the answer like this. Violet vapor, okay, will be formed in test tube C. Underline, underline. Then what is asked? You have to establish the equation. So we are already done that very nicely. You can reproduce the equation. You can write down the equation. Balanced equation. What is that? 2MnO4 minus plus 16H plus 10I gives 2 manganese 2 plus 8H2O plus 5I2. And it is because of this iodine you are able to get the violet color. So you can mention this. This is responsible for this violet color. Done. And KMnO4, it is the oxidizing agent. Okay, right. And what is the next question they have asked? This is A, first question, and second question, Roman letter 2. Reproduce the same order, same number. The bubbles of gas evolved will extinguish. Okay, so write the equation. So the bubbles of gas evolved, okay, is carbon dioxide, because it extinguishes. Okay, write down. Extinguishes a burning matchstick. Okay, so we have justified. So and the test tube is A. So the bubbles of a gas evolved is CO2 in test tube A. Underline CO2 extinguishes. Okay, now we have to establish the equation. Okay, so what is the equation? You can reproduce the equation where I have written Here it is. Okay, so you can reproduce the equation. 2 KMnO4 plus 5 H2C2O4 plus 3H2SO4 gives K2SO4 plus 2MnSO4 plus 10CO2 plus 8H2O. So this is because of the CO2 which is released at A, okay, test tube A, that extinguishes the master. This is the way you have present the answer. But what about these? These are all illustrations. Okay, so you would have written everything as I do, but it should be done very fast. But at the same time, when you finally present the answer, you are expected to present the answer very nicely like this only. And for which probably the score is, what is the mark they are going to award? They will award as per this. How much? Okay, manganese they are given. Okay, violet vapor, that is test tube C, 1 mark immediately. Okay, allot 1 mark. And they have given the equation, okay, 1 mark. And what about this carbon dioxide test tube A, 1 mark? And he has given the equation, 1 mark. Is it not? I think for both they are given. Okay. So this is 1 mark, this is 1 mark. But in my opinion, you can, that is comfortably give the entire 5 marks for this. There is an ambiguity of asking question. See, the students should be tested for their better understanding, comprehension, and application. So the application should be tested here. Instead, they have asked this question something like a knowledge-based question. Okay. Anyway, there is no other go, but you should be prepared for this. Right? Any doubt?
No, sir.
இதுக்கு எவ்வளவு நேரம் ஆச்சுன்னா